What is up, everybody, and welcome to Build My Build, a concept that kind of started in my last Inferno Progress video, and it kind of started with me asking you guys to build me a fashionscape that I can use while slaying and try to get some entertaining reactions from people, since it seems that people in this game sometimes don't take too kindly to not using the most efficient build. So that's where this idea kind of started. However, since I've been thinking about it, I realized that I could use this as an opportunity to kind of squeeze as much content from what little creativity I actually have. And even then, this really isn't my own creativity since I'm getting ideas from my viewers. But if I've learned anything from some of my favorite YouTubers, Jax Films and PewDiePie, it's that the most entertaining content comes from the viewers. There may be a little note in there about actually having to have a personality, but we're going to see if we can get away with me. So let's get started into the first and possibly only episode of Build My Build. The continuation of this series entirely depends on how cringy I end up making it, so we'll see what happens. So the original idea, if you happen to notice on the video, the most upvoted comment was to do a Bloodveld task in full Dharoks, except instead of using the Dharok's helmet, use a Slayer helmet, and really just do it without saying a word and see what reactions we can get from people. So the first step in this was really to get a Slayer task of Bloodvelds. I wanted to do it in Neve's Slayer cave since it's more likely that people in that cave will be doing Slayer, and I just thought it'd be an easier way to interact with people. So I went ahead and tried to get myself a Bloodveld Slayer assignment. Unfortunately, the first task that I got was a Jad task. However, instead of just skipping it with points, I decided to give Jad a piece of my mind. And translated, that means I left immediately after starting, because when you have a mind like mine, you really can't spare any pieces. Self-deprecation humor with a terrible delivery. Welcome to Joseph's Place. Anyway, after that Jad task, I continued and got myself another assignment. The next assignment I got was, unfortunately, gargoyles, and at the time of recording this, the gargoyle boss happened to be dropping the next day, and I did want to give that a shot, so instead of skipping the Slayer task, I decided to keep the gargoyle Slayer task so I wouldn't have to try down the future after recording this to get another one and possibly waste up to 300 or 500 points. So I decided to just stick with the gargoyle task and go to the catacombs of Korend and see what damage we could do there. So I packed up my stuff and made my way to the catacombs. Now the plan was to find a world with only one person in it, so I wasn't really crashing anyone, because I feel like that would get reactions, however, just not any that I would be appropriate to put in a video. So I looked for worlds with only one person killing Bloodvelds in them. Unfortunately, due to my crippling social anxiety, I was not able to do this for more than a few worlds without just completely breaking down and having a panic attack, so I decided to switch the idea up a little bit. Also, no one was really giving me reactions at this time, so I felt like that would also just make this video even more boring than it already is. So with my justifications out of the way, I continued with this new idea to kill KBD with full Dharoks, and this is the setup that I used. I did switch out the Slayer helmet for the Dharok's helm. Since I am kind of changing the idea, I felt like it'd be a little more interesting to watch the full set effect possibly trigger, and I felt like that would make the synergies just a little bit better. Now, the original plan was to kind of switch between the shield and the great axe every 2 attacks. Now, if you're unaware, you can use the twisted bow to do something similar. However, the twisted bow attacks much faster, so you can switch to the Dragonfire shield almost every single Dragonfire attack, really negating all of those high damage hits. Now, since the great axe is slower, my plan was really to tank one Dragonfire hit, attack with the great axe, then swap out to the shield, hopefully utilizing the Dharok's effect during that time. Since I knew I would be taking a lot of damage, I thought that maybe taking that damage and then hitting with the great axe and the full effect would actually work out pretty well, and then swapping to the shield for one attack and then doing the same thing over. And in my mind, that made sense, and I thought that would work. However, after some high-level PVM experimentation, I realized that I may have to switch up my method a little bit. So I decided to switch it up and just go ahead with flinching KBD. Fortunately, I am not a hardcore Iron Man, so I felt like I could get away with it without getting a 2-week ban. So I decided to just stick with the flinching method and walk under KBD every few ticks, and then attack him with my Great Axe. So that's the method we ended up using for the rest of this kill, and I'm going to let the kill play out in the background while I finish up and wrap up this video. So this video wasn't as planned as I would have liked. I kind of just thought of this last minute and threw it together. However, now that I've been thinking about it and going over it, I do like the idea, and I would actually like to make this a series. So if you guys are interested, comment below with your ideas of different builds and different activities to do with those builds, and they might make it into a video. Now, in general, I do want to just take the highest voted comment and just make a video out of it, produce some content with a little bit of commentary over it, and see if I can make that a little bit interesting. However, I won't be doing things that are just completely outside of my realm of reason. I do have a limit on what I can actually do skill-wise PVM, so I will be trying to keep them at least doable for now, and as the series progresses, maybe get into some more difficult challenges. However, I'll make that on a case-by-case basis, so really just suggest anything you want. Maybe it's something you genuinely want to see, like completing a boss with, 100k gear or 50k gear. Something that's a little unmeta or maybe interesting, like doing a melee Jad kill, or just something completely troll, like what this video was supposed to be, and doing some Slayer tasks in completely the wrong gear just to get a reaction. Anything like that, suggest it in the comments below, and we'll see where the series goes. I am actually excited about it, and from the response I got on my Inferno Progress video, where this idea originated, it seemed like a lot of people would be interested in this idea. But that is all I have for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy it, and I will see you next time.